কে জানেন না বলুন তো যে জুয়া কোম্পানি থেকে মদ কোম্পানি থেকে এরা পয়সা দিয়েছে? কে জানেন না?
যাদবপুর দক্ষিণ কলকাতা আমরা একসাথে 4 তারিখ লাল আবি খেলবো এবং সেই লাল আবি দুটো এলাকার একসাথে মিলেমিশে যাবে। এই সপ্তাহ ভালো করে হবে, শেষ কয়েকদিন ভালো করে ভোট করব।
So the old generation is passing on the baton to the younger one. এখন বলা হয় that CPIM as a party is losing its relevance because of the older leader. Young generation দের আগে আসতে দেওয়া হয়নি. So what would you say?
I completely disagree with this notion. See how much of black hair do you see in Narendra Modi's face? So you don't have a problem with Narendra Modi being old, but you have a problem with Biman Bose being old. This is your, I mean, this is the perception, this is the notion that's been manufactured to pose the left as a story of the yesteryear. The left is the only force that could actually deliver a meeting as big as a brigade rally with its youth front. So we have the most number of young people, and we will go forward with this. And we have the perfect blend of experience, wisdom of the experienced, and agility of the youth. We can boast of this.
You are using social media, you are using slogans, you're using dialogue, something absolutely unthinkable of a left campaign. Is it in a...
This again is your perception. The left has always welcomed the most creative people in the world. The left has always welcomed the most, I mean the latest innovations in the world. So the left will always come up with new things. It has come up with new things in 1940s. Stalwarts like Sholil Chaudhuri were products of left movement. So now today it is coming up with today's language, parodies, memes, this, that. And we are, I mean, as long as people are okay with our content, as long as the content doesn't get diluted, we are absolutely fine.
We spoke to Professor Zad Mahmood to get an insight into the transformative shift occurring within the left camp in Bengal.
The CPIM usually is called a spent party nowadays, but they have frayed young faces, something which they have always been criticized about, that they do not let younger people come to the fore. So sir, do you see this change or this shift a political strategy or an election strategy to get in more people to connect to the party itself?
First of all, this is not unique to 2024 Lok Sabha election. If one looks at the 2021 Vidhan Sabha nominations given by the left front, there were around 35 very young candidates, and the number of young candidates, young in the sense of, let's say, under 40, that was around more than 50, if I'm not mistaken. So this left, precisely the CPIM politics, that has been changing for the last many years. If you think about it, the CPIM youth organization, DYFI, called a brigade, right? And this is something quite unique, because before brigade was always called by the CPIM, yes, or the left front or the party. So this shift in the youth brigade, and this is, I think, this is a culmination of a lot of activities. Think about the COVID time. The red volunteers, right? Think about it in terms of India. India is considered one of the youngest countries in the world due to the demography divide. So our voters are young. In this election, out of the total 96 crore voter, if I'm not too mistaken, around 20 crore voters are less than 30 years old, right? 21 crores, something like that. Today, the left has a pool of young people that they can choose from. And so that is what we are seeing now in terms of the 2024 nomination.
A youth leader known for her fiery speeches, Deepshita Dhar is a 30-year-old research scholar and the leader of the Students' Federation of India. and she is the candidate of the CPIM from the Shrirampur constituency in West Bengal. Despite facing tough competition from her opponents, Dhar remains confident that she will wrest power from TMC's Kalyan Banerjee in the Shrirampur constituency.
Due to 34 years in power and uninterrupted rule, you have this tendency not to shuffle too much when you have a team winning matches, even in IPL.
So does that stem out from a sense of complacency?
No, it's not a complacency. It's like, why do you want to break the winning combination for a cricket team, right? Why do you want to change the team when the team is winning? However, what happens is that when you face difficulties, then you start thinking of new strategies. For the left, that happened since the 2011 and others, when they started thinking about it. And now I think left is very well positioned in terms of youth mobilization, considering they have been out of power for so many years, and the number of people we see, and they're quite impressive, right? You look at candidates like Srijan or Deepshita, they're very impressive. And so they have this pool of young candidates which in the future is going to hopefully give them returns.
যে পরিস্থিতিতে দাঁড়িয়ে আজকে আমরা এখানে এসেছি, আমি যখন রাস্তা দিয়ে আসছিলাম দেখছি এক হাঁটু পানি। 2 ঘন্টার বৃষ্টিতে যদি এক হাঁটু পানি থাকে আর তৃণমূল কংগ্রেস যদি বলে উন্নয়ন হয়েছে, আর উন্নয়ন যদি দরজায় দাঁড়িয়ে থাকে, যদি এটার নাম উন্নয়ন হয়, তাহলে হ্যাঁ, গোটা পশ্চিমবঙ্গের সব জায়গায় উন্নয়ন হয়েছে।
You are fighting the elections at a time when it is said that the youth usually kind of माने वो थके ना पॉलिटिक्स में नहीं रहते, वो लोग चले जाते हैं। आप ऐसा एक यंग लीडर है, आप खुद चुन के पॉलिटिक्स में आए, क्यों?
देखिए, इसलिए तो एनईपी लागू किया जा रहा है कि ताकि जो यूथ है, जो यंगर सेक्शन है, अभी इस हिंदुस्तान को यंगस्टन कहता है क्योंकि सबसे ज़्यादा यंगर जनरेशन इस हिंदुस्तान में है, ह्यूमन रिसोर्स है। वो लोग चाहते हैं कि यंग जनरेशन जो स्टूडेंट है, जो नौजवान है, ये पॉलिटिक्स में ना आए। क्यों? अगर और आएगा तो वो जो कहता है ना, गुरु दूधे सोना, दिलीप घोष, ये नहीं कहेगा ये लोग। अगर ये लोग पॉलिटिक्स में आएगा तो ये लोग रोजगारी की बात करेंगे। ये लोग अगर स्टूडेंट यूथ पॉलिटिक्स में आएगा तो ये लोग बेरोजगारी के लिए बात करेंगे, गरीबी के लिए बात करेंगे, भूखमरी के लिए बात करेंगे। ये लोग नहीं चाहते कि इस मुद्दे को पॉलिटिक्स में लिया जाए। वो लोग चाहते हैं कि यहाँ पे बंगाल में हो या पूरा देश में हो, मुद्दा ये हो क्या कौन क्या खाएगा, ये मुद्दा हो कौन मंदिर में जाएगा या मस्जिद में जाएगा। सरकार का क्या ये काम है मंदिर मस्जिद को जाके उसे इनोग्रेशन करना? सरकार का काम क्या है? सरकार का काम है जो इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट है, स्कूल है, कॉलेज है, हॉस्पिटल है, ये इनोग्रेशन किया जाए। तो एक सरकार नहीं करता है, इसलिए सरकार नहीं चाहते कि यंगर जनरेशन आए। अगर ये आएगा तो भ्रष्टाचार खत्म हो जाएगा। अगर ये आएगा, ये गरीब के मुद्दों को उठाएगा। अगर ये आएगा, गरीब के लिए लड़ेगा। ये लोग नहीं चाहते अगर गरीब के मुद्दे सामने आ जाएगा तो अंबानी अदानी खुश हो जाएगा। ये लोग चाहता है अंबानी अदानी टिका रहे, इसलिए लोग ऐसा चाहते हैं।
Although not in fray in the 2024 Lok Sabha battle, Meenakshi Mukherjee is one of the young guns of CPIM in Bengal, and she has spearheaded the whole campaign, actively advocating for her contemporaries throughout the election season. Popularly known as Captain Meenakshi amongst the masses, in 2021 she had contested against Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee from the Nandigram seat. Regardless of the results, she is considered to be a ray of hope within the left folds, the semblance of which can be seen in the 2024 poll battle, where she has taken up the reins as a star campaigner.
নামি দামি ব্র্যান্ডের জুতো জামার দোকান এই গড়িয়াতে যাদবপুরে টালিগঞ্জে আসতো না।
This is a good start when you get a young, very committed and somewhat ideological group of people working for your party. This is possible because the left is not in power. So these people who are joining the left are driven by some kind of ideological, value-based politics, which is good. This is what I'm suggesting. But will that be enough? No, I don't think it will be enough until and unless, say, somebody manages to reach out to the women of West Bengal.
So even in terms of change in the left camp, it's not just about the leaders. If you see that a party once opposed to the usage of computers, this time around in election is using AI, is using social media, is using things like creating AI-based robots who are then spreading messages to reach to the masses. Do you think this is also a way of connecting with the voters?
No, so the point is, you can't stop technology. You can't stop science. And of course, I haven't seen it, but I've heard that in the 1980s, there were movements against computers. But computers are now everywhere. And the point is, as Joseph Schumpeter rightly pointed out, capitalism is a process of creative destruction. It's going to create new areas and destroy others. In earlier times, rallies, meetings, these were absolutely important. Today, we know that with the IT cell and others, the Home Minister can really, and he's right when he says that we can make anything go viral or we can stop anything. So the technology of reaching out to the people has changed, and that is getting reflected, and that has to get reflected.
जो टैक्स पेयर्स हैं, यहाँ पे जो साधारण लोग हैं, मिडिल क्लास हैं, वो लोग भुगत रहे हैं।
So we have Saira Shah Halim with us. She has been fielded from the Kolkata South seat against Mala Rai and Debushri Chaudhary. So ma'am, this is your fray at the election politics, and it is also a great time to get to know people. So what is Saira Shah Halim bringing forth this election?
So I'm bringing forth a new freshness to the political spectrum. We've seen that the Trinamool Congress is facing a major anti-incumbency. There are leaders who have been accused of major scams, be it the ration scam, be it the coal scam, be it the education scam. Now the Bharatiya Janata Party dabbles in communalism. Now, end of the day, it will not work in Kolkata. This Hindu-Muslim Mandir Masjid, this metrics might work in the Hindi heartland, it doesn't work here.
Ma'am, this time around in the elections, along with you, there are a couple of other young faces like Srijan Bhattacharya, Deepshita Dhor, many young faces at fray. So is this a shift, is this a strategic shift in the left camp? Because since after 2011 and after the one after another election fallacies that we have seen, it is considered that maybe the left has lost out on its traction because it failed to pass the baton on in time.
Yeah, I think every political party goes through an evolution process where they do kind of have a rethink about what would be, what would work, what would not. We just hope that young people like Srijan and Deepshita, Meenakshi, of course I'm elder than them, but I'm considered the younger lot. So yeah, we all are trying to revive the left in our own way.
So ma'am, taking tail from your answer itself, do you think that this evolution is a little late?
It might be late, but I feel better late than never. It's time that because we are offering a very clean and honest campaign compared to the communal diabolic politics of the Bharatiya Janata Party and the corrupt politics of Trinamool Congress. This whole binary I've already broken 2 years ago, and I hope we clinch the seat in Kolkata South this time.
So we just had a word with Saira Shah Halim, and she has highlighted a plethora of issues that she would take to the parliament if voted to power. Now, having said that, we also spoke to her about the winds of change in the left camp itself. So she said, with evolving times, strategies are evolving. With evolving times, leaders have taken up measures which would help them or enable them to connect well with the voters. She also mentioned now it is just a waiting game, and she would have to wait and watch for June 4th and see if this shift, if this wind of change, or if this passing of the baton culminates in the vote boxes in terms of results. Here in the Kolkata South Parliamentary constituency, with camera person Shuman Gupta, this is Titas reporting for News Literature NTT.